Hello everyone, I'm Professor Geek. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to make this video to announce that I do now have a BitChute account as well as a Minds account. So I would recommend people click on those links in the description and definitely follow me there. I'm not going anywhere on YouTube of my own doing anyway, but it's time. It's time to make these contingency plans because the censorship is just crazy out of control now. Computing Forever today was taken down. His YouTube channel was taken down. Other people, they're going to come for them as well, I'm sure. I don't know if I'll be in anybody's crosshairs just yet because I'm not a small channel, but I'm nothing like a huge channel either. And my content isn't explicitly political. It's socio-political, maybe, if you want to say it. I don't know. I speak about the culture and the culture wars in terms of art, not necessarily politics. And even when I do a focused video, like the one video I did shortly after the election called Prof Gets Political, I'm still kind of speaking of it from a detached cultural lens and not arguing about the specifics or this, and that. Because that's just the way I started my channel. It's not me trying to tiptoe around it by any means. I think it's pretty easy to deduce my own politics from listening to the channel and whatnot, but that's not what this channel was founded on, so I don't push that explicitly or specifically. But as I said in that other video too, we can't ignore what's going on politically in our country now because it's gone well past, well, I wanted this person to be president or I wanted this person to be president. It's long past that. Seems like every election people say our country is so polarized, it's more polarized than it's ever been. It's just kind of one of the lingo they always throw up. But it's not just about, well, there's just it's almost a split down the middle. Who wants this president? Who wants that president? It's not even about the presidents anymore. It's about the basic differences in how we want to be governed as a society. There's no coming together. There's no just working together and just being one anymore. When you have certain people literally and explicitly saying they want to be socialists, and you've got other people saying absolutely not. I want to remain a constitutional republic without socialization in any of its individual parts and whatnot. So. And of course, those are the two big sides. There are all sort of varying sides in between. But the big tech is firmly on the side of the liberal socialist agenda. Absolutely. There's no such thing as taking channels down for community guidelines. That's rhetoric. That's ridiculous. It's about preserving only one narrative and only allowing one narrative to be out there and on the internet and nobody else. And they are working together, they're lockstep in this, and they're trying to do that. They're trying to squeeze out any dissenting voices. Look at the little details they've done trying to, it's YouTube, it's Google, but it's also Twitter, it's Facebook, Instagram, all these, when some of them are owned by the same people and everything like that. But that's what they're trying to do, flagging different posts as, oh, well, this is false, the independent fact checkers have said this, or, oh, this photo has clearly been manipulated or whatever. They have no authority to speak on that matter. They're social networking platforms. These are not any kind of authority in any other way. So we need to look for alternative platforms. And that's what I've been doing. Now, unfortunately, none of the other platforms are going to have all the bells and whistles just yet. I'm still going through Minds a little bit, but BitChute is very much like a poor man's YouTube in terms of interface and stuff like that and your experience on it at this point. But it's been around for a while. It's getting better, and it looks like with more funding, with more, ability that it can do that. We all know what happened to Parler recently. And if you're like me and you don't walk in lockstep with that liberal socialist agenda or the big narrative that's being pushed, then you feel that. You feel the witch hunt that's going on. And it's slowly becoming more and more. So recently, this attack in D.C. that happened, you're not even allowed to question whether or not it truly was the president's supporters. You're not even allowed to question that. If you question that, you must be one of those evil Trump supporters. That's the rhetoric. That's the witch hunt. There's no logic to this. It's bypassing all logic. It's just striking to emotion. I remember posting something on my own Facebook personal page saying, am I the only one who thinks this is a little too convenient? I'm not necessarily saying it didn't happen, not saying it did. I'm thinking maybe we should just step back for a second and not just randomly knee-jerk reaction believe whatever CNN or NBC tells us. And maybe try and walk through this because it's so easy to see what's happening. Whether or not, however amount of truth was to what happened in D.C., according to what the media is reporting, they're absolutely using it. They're using it to paint any and all opposition as just dirty, filthy, monsters who need to be trod upon, not spoken to at all. I mean, it's the same thing when the stuff happened in Charlottesville, Virginia so many years ago with that rally. I told the story on a previous video, I think, but I'll tell it again here. I ran some superhero, I still do, but I don't really do much on them, but some superhero pages on Facebook. Iconic Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, that kind of things. Preserving the iconic versions of these heroes and not, kind of speaking out against the modern day nonsense. And there was some picture that we had posted years before of some cosplayer. She was kind of famous and I don't even remember her name right now, but she was sort of famous in the cosplay world. And she had done a lot of Wonder Woman cosplay in the day. So I think we posted pictures of her as Cassie, Wonder Girl or something like that at one point. And I received a message. It was after the Charlottesville, Virginia event thing had happened. And people were starting to message me saying, I know, because this girl apparently was, it was known that she was actually at the rally. She was one of the, people that shan't be named, but she was one of those people at that rally, and very open about it too, and her views and stuff, her crazy views. So people were messaging me saying, I noticed you have pictures of so-and-so on your site still. Am I to take it then that you're in support of her views? That's a threat. That's a threat. It doesn't matter whatsoever that they're speaking against or they're trying to fight against a real evil, okay? Because, again, I'm trying to avoid somewhat watchwords as I can. But that group that came to Charlottesville, Virginia, that's a real evil, okay, that does that mindset anyway, that prejudice. But this is what the left does. They will take on a cause or something like that, and it doesn't matter what the ends are, what the means are. The ends justify the means. It doesn't matter. So when the people emailed me that, now, I didn't know. I didn't even know we had this picture of this girl. If I had come upon it on my own and saw it, yeah, I probably would have taken it down, thinking, I just don't really want to associate with that or whatever. But this is bullying. This is low-down, filthy, degenerative bullying tactics. To email me and say, am I to assume then that you're in it? No, that you wanted this taken down or you wanted to be able to vent your anger upon me. People were so angry they weren't thinking. Now, you have a right to be angry when certain things like that happen. But people don't bother thinking about it. They'll just vent that anger wherever, however, and the media loves that. The media loves that. Big tech loves that. So they're going to try to control that narrative. They're going to try to bolster those fires as much as possible. Even if Biden won the election with absolutely no voter fraud whatsoever. And people need to stop just getting on this moral high horse and saying, rolling their eyes and pretending it's so ridiculous to even think voter fraud could even be possible. Shut up. You were singing a completely different tune when Trump won or when George W. Bush won before that. You don't have any leg to stand on now to come in and tell us how silly this is or whatever. So I don't know what's happening. I'm not advocating for either way, but stop it with that moral high horse. It's ridiculous. You have no leg to stand on there. But let's just say, even if Biden won with absolutely no fraud or no shenanigans whatsoever, just for argument's sake, let's say that happened, you still can't deny that the country is heavily split. That's not the narrative they're trying to tell you. Tell you, oh, look at those crazy fringe Trump supporters. Oh, that's crazy what they did, right? Now, you don't want to be one of them, do you? Okay, that's right. If you don't want to be one of them, you get on board and you support our President Biden and you be a good little citizen because otherwise you're one of them. That's the bullying, the low down, filthy, just despicable bullying tactics that media, big tech, as pretty as they want to look on that media, desk in front of the news camera or whatever, or on the web or whatever they are, they're just dirty bullies. They're not about giving you facts or information. They're not about free information or actually reporting it all. It's about shaping a narrative and trying to sell that at the exclusion of any other possible ideas or facts that might arise. It's all about controlling the narrative. And as a channel that deals with story and narrative and mythology, I can't help, I can't not address that. I can't not do that, and just pretend that that's not going on. So while my channel won't suddenly become, political or specifics in politics or whatever, you can watch my channel and like whoever or whatever, but you're not going to be able to enjoy my channel. I don't think it's ever been the case that anybody can really enjoy my channel and be sold on this this liberal ideology and become an ideologue in this the world today and the way they're manipulating and pushing and bullying. So I'm not going anywhere on this channel right now. I don't think it would ever come to the fact where they'd shut me down. I'm not that much of a threat, but I didn't think Computing Forever would get shut down too. So a lot of people, more and more people are being shut down, kicked off Twitter, kicked off all these places. So my plea is that if you want to keep receiving my content, You do subscribe to BitChute. Get a little familiar with BitChute, with Minds, with MeWe, the social network. I'm not on Twitter at all. I haven't been for a while. I am on MeWe though, so I'll be over there. And Parler's a thing going on. They've defeated that. They'll keep trying to defeat these other ones. A few more will fall. I don't doubt it. Before we get any kind of solid toehold that they can't take away. So we need to explore these platforms. We need to not just keep thinking we're going to do it or saying we're going to do it. I've been guilty of that myself. But for the longest time, I've been saying, yeah, I need to get around to BitChute. No, it's just time to do it. Now, it's going to take me a while to get a lot of my content over there because I am going to try and backlog some videos and stuff over there. And from now on, whenever I do a new video, so this video now, some people on BitChute will be watching it and thinking, what are you doing talking to YouTube people because you're watching it on BitChute? No, that's because I'm double posting this. So I will, whenever I post new content, I'll go ahead and post it to YouTube. I'll still stream my gameplay streams here, but then I'll download them and re-upload them over there on BitChute as well, and Minds. I'm still playing with Minds and exploring it a little bit to see what's going on there. But that's what I'm doing, and I definitely recommend that people do that. And people, if you're as disgusted with this behavior as I am, and again, it doesn't matter what your political beliefs are. If you're just disgusted, if you're like Captain America and you don't like bullies, whether bullies are hostilely taking over buildings or bullies are hostilely trying to control a narrative on the internet and exclude every little person out that dares dissent, it's the same thing. It's all bullies. So, whatever eventually or really happened in DCI, because I'm not sold on that yet. I don't know exactly, and it's ridiculous to think. I think I started my thought earlier and I didn't even finish it. But when I posted saying, isn't this a little too convenient? Shouldn't we all just kind of step back and wait and try and see what happens and what's going on? People, friends that I had, years ago who were totally bought into this ideologue mentality, immediately, like knee-jerk reaction, were posting and replying, is like, it did happen, you saw the images, it did happen. That's all it needs for you to believe something? The images? Because that can't be doctored. If an image is all you need to believe something, then I've got some tweets to show you that just ignore the little photo manipulation at the bottom of it because they're true. It happened. You saw it, So it's silly. People are there's no logic to what people are saying right now. It's just all anger. It's all venom. And you can't react to that. You can't react in that, with that. That's not a place where you make your decisions at, in a place of complete and total emotional behavior. It's an easy place to be emotionally manipulated. And that's what big tech is doing. YouTube, Google, Facebook, Twitter, they're all doing this. They're all implicit in with mainstream media. Absolutely. So, one time you sounded like a conspiracy theorist saying this stuff. Nowadays you're pretty dense and gullible if you don't think some measure of this is going on again. And I don't know specifics. I'm not trying to say, oh, there's a secret Illuminati or anything. No, I don't know what all's behind it or how organized it is. But coming from the world of academia, like I do, this stuff has been going on in the world of academia forever. And so it's not new to me. It's not outlandish for me to see it and say, hey, that's taking place in the media, because I've seen it take place in academia. Even if it's not necessarily a big organized conspiracy, it's just so many people who think that way. They've been conditioned to think that way, and they start gatekeeping, and they don't allow anybody else in who thinks differently. They just allow their little party of ideologues in that space. And then if you're not going to follow lockstep with that, then you get ousted. And it's, for this reason or for that reason or whatever. But no, it's clear to everybody why that happened. And that's what we're seeing now on social media. So do follow me on BitChute, follow me on Minds. I encourage you to look up your other favorite YouTubers and see if they've got those alternate accounts too. If they don't, maybe even ask them kindly. I don't badger them or anything like that. Somebody asked me very kindly earlier today if I would ever consider doing to BitChute because they wanted to leave Google and they just didn't want to stop receiving my content. I really appreciated that. I was like, thank you. I've been meaning to do it for a while, but yeah, it's time to go ahead and pull the trigger. So, so we need to start exploring some other platforms, exploring things. Eventually, 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever will rise up with the same functionality and stuff. It'll just take some time, but that's what we need to do. Otherwise, you just you're just complicit in the whole 1984 practice that they're trying to pull on you. So, and it'll get that bad. It's becoming increasingly, little bit by bit. It's like the frog in the boiling pot. Just a little bit by bit. Oh, it's not bad. Look, nothing's bad going on. It's just a couple degrees more. It's a lot of those couple degrees more, you end up fried or boiled. So, that's all I'll say for now. But thanks everybody who does follow me and continues to subscribe to me. I appreciate that. And I will have the links below in the description. I'll continue to push those from now on in every video. I'll have those links in the description. As I get around to it, I'll go back in previous videos, especially once I upload previous videos. I'll delete the links to like, Twitter or whatever used to be in there and just put these new links to things. But hope to see you over in these new platforms, and I hope that they end up working out. But until next time, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the hero stories you love, the narratives that you love, and don't let anybody tell you that you're not following the mainstream right way of thinking or experiencing stories. So anyway, thanks for the support, and I'll see you guys next time.